first ever ODA concert. May I have that music? Can you put on that music, please? Become Rajadhyaksha, Vice President, Board of Governors, members of the board, Mr. Kamlesh Kasliwal and Mr. Tejul Juneja, Mr. Sumesh Singara and Anurag Surekha, Principal Sir, teachers, my teachers on my right side, who have taught me, presently teachers, old Dalians and friends. On behalf of Old Dalian Association and the Old Dalians who have been participating in this concert, and also the Old Dalians who have put for the first time the art exhibition which you have witnessed in the morning, I welcome you all this evening. I must say the nostalgia continues. And slowly and steadily I think emotions are going to arrive. Each day, I think excitement and enjoyment will increase with every old alien getting registered himself for this 125th year celebration. For me, I am at peace when I see nature in all its glory at the Daly College, how the old trees are looked after. I remember my last day at school. I went around the school and I was feeling very low. I stood under the tree near the science block. It was a windless day. Not a leaf moved. I bid farewell to the school and particularly to that tree. And suddenly I found the leaves seemed to tremble. The tree shook visibly. I think it had moved an inch, probably trying to reach out to me. I could feel the leaves were moist. The tree had cried just as much as I had cried. This was, I think, about 30 years back, and please forgive me if my emotions take over me today also. We entered the Daly College, as you all know, through the Gyan Dwar to gain knowledge. And to add spice to it, all of us have got love and affection and guidance from our teachers here. We leave through the Shakti Dwar after gaining power and strength through knowledge. And again, we get in a bargain is a support from the entire Daly College fraternity and the old Dalians. So that is the strength we carry when we leave this school. The motto of our school is Gyan Dev Shakti, which is knowledge is strength and knowledge is power. And it is rightly said that Vidya Mitram Pravaseshu, that only knowledge is your true friend and will not leave you forever. It will remain with you forever. You all will agree with me that for all of us, Daly College is not merely a school, but it is our home. It is a place for worship. The old Dalians normally participate in various sports activity which normally takes place in any ODA meet. This year we thought that we would include cultural activities. The idea was that we would probably initiate and encourage a greater number of old Dalians to participate in the event. And I think we have succeeded. What we have seen is since last 2 weeks, about 50 old Dalians of different batches, age is no bar, have come together. They are practicing And the idea was that to get together and enjoy and get the feel of the bond of an old Dalian. And we all did that. And we really enjoyed our practice sessions. And we hopefully would like to continue this even in future. Don't underestimate the old Dalians, because I think when love, skill and dedication are brought together, we all must expect a masterpiece. So I think you're waiting to witness a masterpiece performance by my fellow old Dalians. I would like to thank you all, and especially to all the participants who made last 2 weeks of my life the most memorable ones. I would also like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Vikram Rajadhyaksha. I would like to tell the old Dalians who have done wonders with the art exhibition, and to the old Dalians who are involved with the concert, to get together on Monday, the 10th of December 2007 at 4 p.m. Main Hall, College Building, to prepare yourself for the ODA concert to be, which I would like to read out to you. नहीं चलेगा यहाँ अंधियारे का दांव, पोर पोर में रोशनी रग रग में ऊर्जा, पोर पोर में रोशनी रग रग में ऊर्जा, क्योंकि यह हमारा अपना डेली कॉलेज है, सूरज का गांव है, सूरज का गांव. ODA concert, and a personal request: every time an old alien performs and leaves the stage, please put your hands together, as we have already requested the school administration to give 15 minutes for clapping. So, and you may start now. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure and honor not only to welcome but also to introduce the chief guest for the ODA concert this evening. Mr. Vikram V. Rajadhyaksha studied in Daly College from the year 1956 to 1962. Mr. Rajadhyaksha has achieved an outstanding level of success and prominence in the civil engineering industry in USA. Following his IIT bachelor's degree in 1967, Mr. Rajadhyaksha received his master's degree in civil engineering from the University of Cincinnati in 1968. He began his career with G.K. Jewell and Associates, a geotechnical engineering consulting firm, followed by a service with the regulatory agency of the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, Division of Water, as head of dam safety. In 1979, he took advantage of the opportunity to purchase controlling interest in a local engineering firm, Duxon Lindbaum Associates. As president of the company, much of the burden for marketing to the government sector became his responsibility, with special emphasis on water resources, hydrology, and hydraulics related civil engineering projects. He now serves as chairman and CEO of DLZ Corporation, which was founded in 1989. DLZ Corporation, the largest privately owned engineering firm in the Midwest. From 6 employees in 1979, he now has responsibility for over 600 full-time employees. Mr. Rajadhyaksha's achievements have been recognized by a number of awards. He was awarded the Entrepreneur of the Year Award in 1990. In 1996, his firm was listed in India abroad as the 8th largest Asian Indian American owned firm in the US. Can we have a hand for him, please? He actively participates in several professional organizations, serves on the University of Cincinnati Board of Trustees, and is actively involved in several community organizations in Columbus. He is currently involved in building hydroelectric power projects in India with the government of Maharashtra, Himachal Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh. Ladies and gentlemen, Vikram V. Rajadhyaksha. An old Dalian, we're proud to be here. First of all, I would request the girls, Sunena Sikthya, old Dalian, and Kriti Sojatia, sir, for the welcome. Please. Please come. would request our chief guest to say a few words, please.
It is indeed a great privilege to be standing in front of you when only 45 years ago or so, maybe 50 years ago, I was among some of you students. I joined Daly College in 1956 when Mr. Jutsi was the president, and I happened to get in because my dad played tennis with Mr. Jutsi and knew him quite well, and I was somewhat of a notorious kid, and so Jutsi said, we'll straighten him out. And he sure did, because coming to Daly College, I found a new calling. I was very naturally athletic, and in those days, you know, we had less than 100 students in the whole school. In fact, I remember second or third year we were there, I was here, we reached 100 students in the whole school, and they gave us a holiday. The other interesting thing was there were no girls in the school. We only had Suleika Jutsi, the principal's daughter, in our class, and everybody in the class was in love with her. I was an athletic guy, and my main interest in Daly College was not necessarily studies, but on the sports arena, I was a member of the soccer team, the cricket team, also for some time of the hockey team until my father decided that I was just spending too much time in sports and not doing much studying, so he told Jutsi to take me off one of those teams. Jutsi was courteous enough to give me an option which one I wanted to get off, so I got off the hockey team. But what I find these days, and I don't know what is going on in Daly College, but most other places, education seems to be comprising of book learning. Believe me, I got most of my education on the Scindia cricket grounds or the football field where team sports were played. I was also pretty good in squash, so I used to give Raja Digvijay Singh, who was a year junior to me, a hard time on in his squash games. And we had an outstanding cricket team. It has been my privilege to have faced the bowling of Raj Singh Dungarpur in his prime, and also seen Hanuman Singh bat at the Scindia grounds with those flawless cover drives he used to execute. It was such a joy to watch and learn. But as I look back, this was probably my most successful time. I did very well in sports, and I ended up reasonably good in academics also, especially with physics teachers like Mr. Dixit, who were here. He was also our senior housemaster, so he kept us tight and narrow. Also, Mr. Ratnaparke, who taught me math, I don't think anybody was as strict as he was. He used to beat the hell out of me but I soon learned that if I got my homework done, I didn't get a slap in the face, so I got my homework done. we had some excellent soccer coaches. Mr. Dasgupta, who used to teach art, used to be part of the Mohan Bagan team, and he knew what soccer really was all about. And we had an excellent soccer team, as a good cricket team. And we would hold those teams out against any of the high schools, or even even college level that we could play at. It was a very joyous time in my life, and I thank Daly College for giving me the opportunity. You got to remember, in those days, I was a commoner. My father was a government servant, and Daly College was all princes, including Chandra Kumar Kasliwal, who's still a prince in my books. But on the sports grounds, it was all level. It was all who could do the best. And it taught me how to work with the team members and accomplish the goal, which is very important to do in business. So I thank all of you. I thank the school. I thank my teachers the most, because I was an incorrigible student. Even to this day, my mother's sister does not believe how I got through the IIT entrance exam, because she never thought I was smart enough. All I have to tell her is, if you had teachers like Ratnaparke and Dixit and Mr. Paranspe, you could not dare to fail. So I thank all of them. And thank you for giving the opportunity for this lovely program.
Sir, for the lovely words, and surely reminded you of your times at the Daly College. Now I would request our Honorary Secretary ODA, Mr. Devraj Vadgara, to kindly come forward, and I would like to request Honorable Vice President, His Highness Naren Singh Ji Jhabua, to kindly come up and give the memento, present a memento to the Chief Guest, please. And side by side, I would also request you, sir, to kindly light the lamp, and so that the ODA concert can be got going. ODA concert. Ladies and gentlemen, once again I would like to tell you that this is the first attempt ODA is trying to do something. So please be very patient and keep on clapping as much as you can. And to take through to, they have been out of sorts actually, you know, and they've done it without any teacher really telling them about mathematics, except the one who's going to come over now and take over the stage. She's going to take you through the cultural program, Mrs. Sunita Singh.
Very welcome the guests sitting here, old Dalians, with their wives, spouses of course, and lady old Dalians. All my young children sitting in the balcony over there. Are you happy to be here? Thank you, thank you. So without wasting much time, we begin, excuse me, I'm sorry. Let me also welcome my seniors, my teachers sitting here. Welcome sir, welcome ma'am. And now we begin our cultural program with the Saraswati Vandana. Thank you.
स्टेज पर जाकर स्पीच देना कितना कठिन होता है। आपको हंसाने के लिए मैं यहाँ पर हूँ। ये जो एक्टिंग है एक ऐसे शाई, ऐसे संकोची, झेंपू किस्म के लड़के की है जो पहली बार स्टेज पर बुलाया जाता है। ऑकेजन ये था कि गुरुदेव रविंद्रनाथ ठाकुर का जन्म शताब्दी वर्ष था। हॉल ऐसा ही जैम पैक भरा था जैसे आप लोग बैठे हैं, लेकिन जो ऑरेटर था, मुख्य वक्ता था, उसकी ट्रेन 2 घंटे लेट थी। पब्लिक रेस्टलेस हो रही थी। जो कंडक्ट करने वाले थे, ऑर्गेनाइजर थे, उनको बड़ी मुश्किल थी कि वो क्या करें। ऐसे में वो एक जो व्यक्ति आता है सिर्फ स्पीच सुनने आता है, सामने उसको दिखता है, वो उसको बुला लेता है कि अब ये सज्जन आएंगे और आपके सामने गुरुदेव रविन्द्रनाथ ठाकुर पर अपने विचार व्यक्त करेंगे। इसको कुछ नहीं मालूम रविन्द्रनाथ ठाकुर के बारे में। अब ये घबराता है, पहले दौड़कर ये जाता है और पीछे जो कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं प्रोग्राम उनसे बात करता है कि नहीं, वो नहीं बोल सकता। जबरदस्ती जब मंच पे भेज दिया जाता है तब उसकी क्या हालत होती है, दोनों पार्ट में आपसे बात कर रहा हूं। पीछे आर्टिस्ट से निवेदन है कि आवाज कम करें। फर्स्ट पार्ट कि जब उनका अनाउंसमेंट होता है और वो जाकर पीछे कंडक्ट करने वाले से बोलता है तो कैसे बोलता है, अरे क्या कर रहे हो यार, क्या जूते पड़वाओगे क्या, अरे हमको बोलते नहीं आता यार, हम कभी स्टेज पे नहीं गए, अरे गला सूख जाता है, मेरे हाथ पांव कांपते हैं, मुंह से शब्द नहीं निकलते, स्टेज हमको नहीं आता। अरे कभी नहीं बोला यार, जीवन में एक बार बोला था, स्टेज स्कूल में बोला था, वो भी उस दिन कितने गड़बड़ हुई थी। बोलना था आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, वहां मुंह से निकला स्वर्गीय अध्यक्ष महोदय। अतिथि परिचय में हम बोल पड़े कि इन्होंने इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट से बीए किया है। नहीं बस का नहीं यार, अरे वहां बोलना था ये दिल के बड़े साफ है, मुंह से निकला दिमाग के बड़े साफ है। नहीं, अरे ये मैं तेरे जूतों में पॉलिश कर दूंगा यार, कि अपने स्टेज नहीं बोलता है, इतनी सारी लेडीज बैठी सब कच्चर करवा देते, बस का नहीं है। अरे अब देख यार प्लीज, रविन्द्रनाथ ठाकुर को मैं क्या जानता हूँ यार। इसके बावजूद उनको स्टेज पे भेज दिया जाता है, तब उनकी क्या हालत होती है वो देखिए। लेडीजों और जेंट्सों, आज हमारे इनका ये रविन्द्रनाथ ठाकुर जी का वो है जन्मदिन, बर्थडे। वैसे तो ठाकुरों का काम हाथ में बंदूक तलवार लेकर देश की ये करना है, रक्षा, डिफेंस। लेकिन रविन्द्रनाथ एक ऐसे ठाकुर थे जाने कि जो लिख भी लेते थे, और इतना टॉप का लिखते थे कि मतलब लिखते थे यहाँ थे इंडिया में, लेकिन वो लंदन वाले भी बहुत उनको ये करते थे, एप्रिशिएट। मतलब वो कहानी लिखते थे, कविता भी लिखते थे, उपन्यास भी लिखते थे और ये भी लिखते थे, नाटक। मतलब उनके लेखन में जो एक ये था ना, वो बहुत था। मतलब उनके लेखन में जो एक देश की एकता, अखंडता, राष्ट्रीयता, मानवीयता, आधुनिकता सब थी ना, कुल मिलाकर वो थी यूनिवर्सिटी इन डाइवर्सिटी थी। रविन्द्रनाथ ठाकुर है ना, इतने सारे काम एक साथ करते थे ना कि बिल्कुल उनके जैसे थे। वो क्या कहते हैं, वो श्री कृष्ण जैसे। श्री कृष्ण जी ने गीता लिखी ना, उनने भी गीतांजलि लिखी है। वो कविता लिखते थे, कहानी लिखते थे, उपन्यास लिखते थे, और वो रात को आता ना 11-12 बजे रविंद्र संगीत, वो भी उन्हीं का है। वो कैसे भी बना लेते थे, चित्र भी बना लेते थे, यानी इतना काम एक साथ करते थे ना कि उनको ये इसका दाढ़ी बनाने का भी वो नहीं मिलता। आजादी के पहले वाले महापुरुष थे, यानी तब अपने देश में महापुरुषों का ऐसा शॉर्टेज नहीं था जैसा अब हो गया है ना। तब तो यानी जहां देखो वही महापुरुष। आजादी के बाद नए वाले तो पैदा ही नहीं हुए ना, जो पुराने थे वो भी स्टॉक अपने पास खत्म हो गया। देखो ना, गांधी जी नहीं रहे, टैगोर नहीं रहे, सुभाष चंद्र बोस नहीं रहे, और नेहरू जी नहीं रहे। पिछले कुछ दिनों से मेरी तबीयत भी, अब बोलने का तो बहुत कुछ है, पर कहते ना कि अब बोलने से ये करना अच्छा, चुप रहना, इसलिए इतना कह के मैं अपना वो ग्रहण करता हूँ स्थान।
Are the musicians there? They will be giving you a presentation in combination of Rav Yaman and Kalavati, but it's an amalgam of ODA emotions, feeling, love, and feeling of deja vu here. So that's ODA orchestra for you, and I'll be quickly calling out the names
uncomfortable for you. It can make you think so easily. This guy standing here is an idiot. I cannot forget that dumb was high when I walked into this college. Maybe in 4 years I learned the words, knew how to think. I could think of ideas, clothe them in words, and perhaps find the courage to say them here too. These few seconds of silence was my profound gratitude to the college that did that transformation. Thank you, BC. Among other things we were taught here, when the first rule of public speaking I was taught was always begin your speech with a quotation by William Shakespeare. I am very inadequate to quote Shakespeare. I went to the internet today, downloaded a page, and I'll quote William Shakespeare to you as I found it on Google. In his first book, William Shakespeare, entitled Daly College में मेरे 12 वर्ष, says, and I'm quoting William Shakespeare, धरा पर बना है पर आसमान लगता है, धरा पर बना है पर आसमान लगता है, मुझको तो ये एक संविधान लगता है. हिंदू, मुस्लिम, सिख, ईसाई सभी हमारे साथ हैं. डेली कॉलेज तो मुझे एक छोटा सा हिंदुस्तान लगता है. Shakespeare was born in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, and married. His name was actually not Shakespeare, it was Shesha P. Iyer, and he married someone called Anna Hathaway, but Srimati J. Jayalalitha doesn't like the idea of men being married to someone else with the name Anna, so she asked him to get out of Tamil Nadu. He came to Bhopal. His name was Sheikh M. Peer, Sheikh Muhammad Peer. Then he came to Shivaji's statue because when he said Toba, na Toba in Bhopal, they kicked him out. And when he walked from Shivaji, he saw this for the first time and said, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. I guess he saw the main building and then he met Mr. Ahmed Ansari and the ghost of Sir Henry Daly. They helped him translate Toba, na Toba to be or not to be. I don't know if he joined DCBS. He went to England and became a famous poet. So I've quoted Shakespeare. I'll get on with reading from a book which I have written a few weeks ago, finished it. It's set in Daly College. It's a murder mystery. If some of you don't understand how it is, it's because I was from Rajendra House. The man murdered in my book towards the end is Narendra Modi, one of the 12 Rajendrians of the batch 1987 is suspected. I'll begin with the page which is actually a description of the most important engagement of the academic year. It's Harshvardhan Singh Rathore bunking class C. It was during lunch that Udit told Harsh that he had a packet of chocolates and some namkeen to eat. I sneaked them in my sports bag and managed not to get caught by Mr. Kapasya. He told Harsh as a matter of fact. When were you ever caught, Touchwood, sneaking in anything, in or out? But when should I eat it? And where should I hide it? Well, that's your problem, Mr. Rajendra, and I'll hide it in our usual place. Udit offered help. No, said Harsh, we are having football team discussion every night after lineup. It's impossible to get even 5 minutes off. Bunk it, advised Udit. Bunking classes, official activities, now that's a nice thing to do. But how can you bunk football? No. But what's the point anyway? You will win all the games except with a Ashok house, Udit added. That's the point, Udit. Winning all the other games does not matter for Rajendra House if we lose to Ashok. But why? Who's the Rajendra House captain for Lunawada quiz? You lost it, man. Why should winning in football games or anything else for that matter be so important? Now these boarders, they don't have a life. They make a religion out of winning inter-house matches. So that's how the book begins. It's vintage Harsh. And then I moved to another set of boys who wanted to produce a play at school. The principal, Mr. Venugopal, and he's one of the characters along with Mr. Ansari here as well. And of course, my own English teacher, Mr. Ali Katti. I've been trying to avoid him all afternoon because I knew I'd come to him a little later in the evening. Anurag was set to produce his first play at school, The Avenger of History. If only he could convince Principal Venugopal. But without a strong recommendation of either Mr. Ali Katti or Mr. Ansari, the task seemed impossible, including to Rathi, the most optimist of them all. Why don't you talk to Mr. Ali Katti again? Rathi suggested. No chance. He's convinced about My Fair Lady. Who's My Fair Lady? Dharamdev asked. It sounds wow. There may be a girl in this play. Harsh, your only chance of hobnobbing with Swati under the pretext of the play is nil. You cannot act, not in an English play, not if Mr. Ali Katti is the director. Then let's do a classic dom act, Rape My Ape. They all laughed, but without Rathi willing to do the ape, unlikely. Guys, why don't let's get serious? Let's actually go and argue. Let us go and tell the principal that The Avenger of History is a better play than My Fair Lady. What would be the point of doing My Fair Lady? We are not into this for the love of theatre, because we've had enough boring plays here, which nobody except very, very old aliens and English teachers love to watch. Anyway, that's how it begins, and you know, you can never go and, we never could convince Mr. Ali Katti, of course, about improving either Shakespeare's Macbeth or My Fair Lady. But it did lead to a beautiful love story on the sidelines, which I wanted to have in my book. And I said, love story? In Daly College, 1987, it was difficult. I wrote down all the names of the boys of my batch on the left. I wrote down the names of all the girls 2 years our junior on the right. It was very simple, match the column, A and B, draw lines. I ended up with what Mr. V.P. Singh, my maths teacher, taught me was triangles and rectangles. One evening when I really wanted to write a romantic scene set in Daly College, two of the most frightening words of English language came and hit me. Ma'am car. I decided to postpone love for my characters till they joined college. The last of scenes that I'll read out to you. This is a typical Rajendra House start of the year lineup. I had actually taken a printout of a particular scene of ragging, but Mr. Foti met me in the afternoon and said, things are getting better here. Okay? I said, okay. So I removed the ragging scene from the reading here, but I'll take you to a glorious lineup 20 years back. To those who tell you that Daly College is just a school, to those who say it's just a house, or those who say it's both, I think they're all wrong. I would like, if you'd like to come with me now, take you to 1987 Daly College Rajan House lineup addressed by Irshad Rahman. If you would like to stand up here and give a single point solution to the world, whatever is going wrong there, I think this is the place that can give answers to the world if we knew. Okay, not surprisingly to most Rajendrians, it was not Amit Chaudhary, the prefect, but Irshad Rahman who was addressing the house. The lineup was quick, the numbers matched perfectly. The last boy in the line screamed, 80! Plus the 2 for the 2 people standing both sides, 82, ditto. Irshad smiled. Everything in life always totaled perfectly. It only needed a perfectionist like him. He had believed power stemmed from a man's voice and spent nearly 4 years in reading and doing exercises to get a booming, deep voice. So here, he stood at the end of the corridor and said, winning is not the most important thing. Karthik smiled, turned toward Shabir and said, I know what he's going to say next. Winning is not the most important thing, participation is. And then Irshad continued, winning is not the most important thing, it's the only thing. Especially when you're playing with Ashok. Show me a guy who can treat the 2 imposters of Kipling, victory and defeat alike. I will show you a total failure, a vegetable. I will put down on the calendar a list of punishments for all those who lose in any of the inter-house events. That was Irshad, of course. But what I have tried to achieve here in this book, I would like to believe, is not just take you all on a funny trip or anything like that, but perhaps show this country that there are schools and there is a Daly College. Don't clap so much. We've been taught in public speaking when the audience claps too much, it's a signal for the speaker to get out. Before I go, a few last lines. Like I said, it's a murder mystery set in India. It's a murder mystery that involves the politics of this country. It's built on the premise that we had heard from our own principal of the day, Mr. Venugopal, who said, when you go out there, you'll become lawyers, doctors, engineers, sportsmen, people in the armed forces, wherever you go. Be something that people would say, he or she can't do nothing wrong. You see, they're from Daly College. Can this logo of the school be a 24-karat gold symbol? Even in a country where morality decays by the day, it was a challenge he threw to our batch. Somewhere, I like to end my this little exercise with the last words that are about a president of a country who invites these 12 boys and asks them, after they've created havoc, of course, like they used to do back then in Rajendra House, in the entire country, and ask them, how did they manage you in school, your teachers back then? And all these 12 boys answered together, our teachers never managed us. They just inspired us to do the right things. As you pack off, the last words, they say, should be the most powerful. I will just quickly give you a speech that I had heard, which is of course captured in the book. It is perhaps the world's most inspiring speech. It inspired me when I was in those shorts back then. I'm sure all of you back there in the first floor would Remember the speech, the world's most inspiring speech, just 6 words. It looked like perhaps the world order would change, civilization was being pushed, mankind had perhaps gone on a vacation. The Nazi armies conquered whole of Europe, and one man stood up in England to give an answer to the Nazi army, to give an answer to the enemies of democracy. He stood for mankind, he stood for democracy, gave 6 words that inspired England to win the World War. If you can, all of you remember these words, you'll win all the battles and wars of your life. And with that, thanks to Old Dalian Association, thank you so much. I pack off with the great words of Winston Churchill. Never, 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 never give up.
That was Mr. Krishna.